Mr. Buffett and Mr. Munger, thank you so much for the wisdom you've shared with us over the years. This is Stephen Wood from New York. And Mr. Buffett, thank you very much for your feedback, your very generous feedback last August on the book that I'm writing. I just had one follow-up, if I may. In studying the most significant value creators of all time, it is very evident that the major compounding effect happened later, at the later stages of the careers, or in Vanderbilt's case, even beyond his own career. So your recent investments have suggested to me that you are designing Berkshire to being a steady compounding machine that should continue to create value for a very long time. Would you both please elaborate on this compounding machine and the machine's ability to continue to adapt to keep this value creation durable? And then, is this legacy one of your sort of primary motivations when you wake up every day?
I would say it is the primary motivation, but it's been that for a very, very, very long time. No matter what was going right in my life, if things were going badly at Berkshire, I would not feel good. And I don't need to be spending my time working on something that makes me feel bad about the results, when we get through. And it's something that's doable. I mean, the culture is stronger now than it was 10 years ago, and it was stronger then than 10 years previously. It moves slowly, but it goes in the right direction. And when we get chances to deploy the capital, we've always tried to make any entity, whether it was the partnership originally or Berkshire now or Blue Chip Stamps when we owned it, or even diversified retailing, we wanted them all to be compounding, in effect, be compounding machines. That's why people gave us capital. That's why we put our own capital in. And if we failed at it, we really felt like we'd failed. It didn't make any difference how much money we made from fees or anything like that. We knew what our yardstick was. And so that will continue. I think Berkshire is better situated than it's ever been, except for the fact that size is a drag on performance. And I probably wrote that 40 years. Well, I wrote it actually when I closed the partnership to new money, when we had like $40 million in it. I just said that really that additional capital would drag down returns from a $40 million base. So you can imagine how I feel with a $368 billion base of capital in Berkshire now. But this culture is special. It can work. It won't be the highest compounder by a long shot against many other businesses. I think it'll be one of the safest ways to make decent money over time, but that will depend on the people that follow us. Charlie?
Well, we came a long way from very small beginnings, and the fact that it slows down a little when it becomes monstrous is not my idea of a huge tragedy. And I think we will continue to do very well in the future. We had nothing like the energy operation 20 years ago, and it's a powerhouse. We had nothing like Kevin's operation in home building 30 years ago, and it will soon be the biggest. Well, even now it's bigger than anybody else in the country if you count both types of housing, isn't it? Houses? I think so. And we have a lot going for us, and I'm satisfied. I think it's going to continue reasonably.
And it would ruin our life if we did it terribly. So that's what we wake up thinking about in the morning. But I wouldn't want to be in a business where I was going to let down other people. And I think it'd be crazy to do something like that, even if you weren't rich in '88. So, but we are motivated to have something that is regarded as something different than others. And we're actually in a world where so much money is institutionalized. I like the idea of having something that's actually owned by individuals in very significant part, who basically trust us and don't worry about what the next quarter's earnings are going to be. I think it's different than much of capitalism, and I think it's something that Charlie and I feel good about. Additional, Charlie?
Yeah, absolutely.